Hey up viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to another round of So You're Being Hunted, episode 492. Phil's joining me actually this time though. How you doing, Phil?
Wow, I've just thought 492.
I know.
It'll have to be another thinker one for the 500th episode, won't
Yeah,
it, soon?
something special I think for that one we'll probably do as well. So back here on this world for my balloon experiment, which I've still got ongoing at the moment.
Yes, I've got to watch that because you've only just uploaded it today.
Indeed, yeah.
Recording. So I'll definitely be watching that later on tonight.
Yeah.
To see what it's all about. Because I do enjoy watching the latest So You're Being Hunted. Usually I watch it while having my tea.
Yeah.
So I will see that.
So how are you doing over there, Phil? You having a relaxing weekend?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. And interestingly enough, in latest current news, we got no prime minister.
Well, yeah, technically, Boris. He said he's going to be going. He's just acting as caretaker prime minister at the moment.
I know. This is just.
Well, I think his position had become pretty damn untenable. Let's be honest, with all the scandals and things that were coming out. So
yeah,
I think it was probably about time that he basically faced the music a little bit for some of the stuff that's been going on and all that. Oh, Jesus, those gift shops.
I remember when we said this about. Do you remember way back about David Cameron?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
indeed.
And we had that, and obviously Russia still being arseholes.
Yeah, still Vladimir Putin causing a few problems, being a bit of a bitch and all that.
Bit of a bitch, absolutely.
Yes.
So interestingly, I've got some 25 questions. With some where we can answer them, and they're interesting little questions. Some are fun, some little things, and we can each provide our own answers to them on what we think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with question one. I might as well get us started, eh?
Yeah.
So the question number one is: what would you name your boat if you had one? So the Unsinkable 3, the Cowboy Bebop, the Please Don't Sink. Your choice. Also, what would it look like as well? Do you want a motor yacht, a sailboat, or perhaps a dinghy?
Okay. Well,
so what would you name your boat if you had one?
Okay. Just putting the name aside for the moment, and what kind of boat it would. Well, I'll start actually with the what would it look like? What kind of boat would it be? That sort of thing. I mean, if it's up to me, it'd definitely be like more than just a boat. It would be like one of those luxury yachts.
Oh, you'd go for that front?
Yeah, I would. Because why the hell not? If you're going to go cruising around the Seven Seas, you might as well do it in style and all that.
Yeah.
What would I call it though? That is the question.
Would you give it a catchy name or?
Let's. I'm trying to think of. Would it be something catchy? Would it be something silly and humorous and funny? Would I take a bit of inspiration out of that one poll that time and call it Yacht Face or something stupid?
No, I believe it was Boaty McBoatface.
Well, Boaty McBoatface was the
oh my god, that was funny, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Just don't trust the British public. That's the thing of that one, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Or maybe I'll call it the subscribe to Red.
Yeah, just
self-advertisement
with a link to your YouTube channel. Yeah.
That's the whole title, just General Red Strategist and then a long YouTube URL.
YouTube URL.
Indeed, yes. What about you, Phil?
Luxury yacht is a nice idea. I would like a speedboat as well. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just get on a speedboat and just go vroom, zooming across the waves.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely.
Indeed.
But I mean, when you go, I suppose with the luxury yacht, you've got all of the features of having your own cinema room. You can have your own staff as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like a lot of luxury yachts do come with things like speedboats included for obviously like little port excursions, things like that.
They do, yeah. But you've got to be bloody rich and it's being like Monaco area, don't you?
Yeah.
What would I call it as well? The Great Floating Turd.
The Great Floating Turd.
There we go. How about that for a name?
Jeez. All right. Yeah. I just imagine a family walking down a little harbour wharf somewhere in some lovely like
the Great Floating Turd. Yeah, and they go and say, what's that? Let's have a look at their names. Oh, they've got names. You've got Julia. We've got the Great. What's the turd, Daddy?
Oh dear. Yes. Well, there you go. That's our answer to that one then, eh?
Okay. Question number 2. What's the closest thing to real magic? So, with a new smart something coming out almost every day, what products amaze and astound you the most?
Okay. Well, if we're taking that sort of original phrasing, what's closest to magic, I wouldn't even necessarily gravitate towards necessarily a particular product. I would just say there are certain technologies we have today which, people back even just like 100 years ago would probably have been absolutely amazed and gobsmacked by. I mean, like, think about just electricity. People back frigging hundreds of years ago, to them that might as well have been magic.
God, it would have been, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Back in then, like seeing electricity, like if you brought something like an iPad back then, bloody hell. I mean, smart technology is always improving. Obviously, you've got like things like smart fridges, haven't you now? And fridges that tell you how much without even opening the door, how much is in them, and then when you run out, it produces a grocery list for you. You're running dangerously dangerously low on eggs. We're going to add this to your grocery list. Yeah.
Groceries, yes, indeed. So yeah, that would be my answer. Honestly, just electricity and electrical inventions in general, I think, would be something that, in many ways, is kind of magical if you're looking at it from the perspective of someone, say, like living hundreds of years ago. Who
I like
conceive of that.
Technologies that are major. That smart fridge for me.
Indeed, yeah. There's a smart.
What do you think would happen if you went back to like the 18th century and showed them a phone or an iPad?
I feel like that would be. I feel like it would be kind of dangerous in a way, because it's like it depends who you're showing it to. Because if you're showing it to someone a bit more learned, a bit more scholarly, they'd probably be more fascinated. But I feel like if you went up to like a bunch of just illiterate, I don't know, like superstitious kind of lower class friggin' field labourers or something, you'd probably get friggin' accused of being a bloody witch or something.
Yeah. Especially don't go back to the Salem witch trials era. No. You will be done in.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we've put some interesting points across there. Okay, let's move to question number 3. Who is the messiest person you know? If your answer is, I don't know any really messy people, that means the answer is you. You are the messiest person you know.
Oh, dang.
Have you encountered any really messy people?
I can remember vaguely, like, when I was a kid, back in primary school, and, like, just, like, messy kids, like, who just, like, eating with the mouths open and things like that, and I was like, oh, Jesus, please no.
God, I hated that. Yeah, people eating with their mouths open, like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I had someone at school who always ate with his mouth open. Like, we don't want to see, what your saliva is doing, breaking down all that food in your mouth, thank you very much.
Don't want to see that mastication, no thank you. Because it's quite disgusting. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to name names there because A, it's been so many years ago that I can't really even remember the names, but B, also I feel like it would just be sort of like calling them out.
Yeah, I had a person who went over, when you're young you do sleepovers with people like that, and I remember doing one with someone and they were really messy, and they had like shit piled up in their room, like paper plates and cups and everything.
God,
what are you doing? Clean it up, you dirty fucker. And I will admit, I'm gonna put my hand up. I can be a little messy as well. There are some bits of my floor I can see here a bit messy, so I need to get some. Might need to get the old vacuum out and dustpan and brush out. But yes, I will admit.
Yeah, I mean, we all have sort of days like that, where I think like work has been sort of preoccupying our mind so much that we don't manage to sort of do the weekly housework and all that. But that doesn't mean you're necessarily a messy person overall. It just means maybe there's like a particularly busy moment in your life where you kind of, I don't know, maybe other stuff has just distracted you. And usually, whenever that's the case, when obviously, you get a bit of time, you usually then get back and clean things up and all that. So, not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, number 4. What do you think will finally break the internet? So you can take this question in a serious direction or a funny direction.
Okay. So when you say break the internet, I sort of interpret that as meaning one of two things. So on the sort of more humorous side, or the more sort of like, mundane everyday side, I always see like articles of like some celebrity doing something, and then they always say, oh, so-and-so broke the internet, and things like this, with some silly viral picture or something. So, in that sense, it'll be something that some celebrity does, like some celebrity friggin', I don't know, has like a wardrobe malfunction live on television at the Emmys or something.
There's been a few of those. There's the famous one of the WMAs with I believe it was Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. Yeah, they were dancing and singing together, and I think Justin Timberlake accidentally pulled down her outfit and had a bit of a nip slip.
Damn. Yeah. Oh dear, how does one manage that, eh?
But so things like that can be,
So there's like breaking the internet in that sense of something that everyone just cracks up laughing about and just everyone's sharing it and stuff like that. Or there's kind of the more serious sense of something that literally damages the internet, which is kind of difficult because obviously the internet is such a big thing.
It's going to be difficult to do something like that.
Indeed, but I could imagine maybe just being like perhaps the internet of like a particular country being cyber attacked or something that just causes it to go offline.
That's it. Cyber attacks are a big thing, unfortunately, and lots of things hacking, and it could take it down. I remember the PlayStation Network got taken down. I think that was back in 2011.
Oh yeah,
and they had to. Loads of accounts were stolen. So
indeed, yeah.
That wasn't good. Okay.
There's our answer to that one.
There's a question number 5. What's the most useless talent you have? You've got one. We've all got one.
Yeah. What would be the most useless talent that I've got? Like you say, there will be one. I'm trying to think of what it is. Probably like making my making my sister laugh with really stupid jokes or something. I don't know. Something like that. Is that a talent?
I suppose. Yeah. Giving stupid jokes and things like that.
Yeah.
What would I say?
Indeed. I'm trying to remember, like, for example, the last time I was back up north, the one that I told to her, well, last one I said to her, it was a really stupid joke. So I'll ask you it as well, Phil. If you have one lasagna, Phil, and then you take a second lasagna and put that on top of the first lasagna, is that 2 lasagnas or is that now 1 lasagna? And for some reason she absolutely cracked up laughing at that, because it's just like one of those really dumb things. It's just
no, I can see
stupid.
That, yeah. You'd have a double stacked lasagna.
Yes, there indeed. Yeah.
I think for me, sometimes when I throw out and just come up with like useless facts as well.
Yeah. That's
and I do fling them out.
Useless facts, I would say that's kind of like a sort of useless talent kind of thing. It's like just random bits of knowledge that will never serve you in any way, but you know them nonetheless. So
I know they're always
there in your head.
I like them.
Yeah.
Okay. 6th question. What would be on the gag reel of your life? So those moments when the audience that has been watching your life bursts out in laughter.
Probably like dumb jokes, like that, for example, where it's like just 1 or 2 people burst out laughing and like loads of other people are just looking like rolling their eyes. That would probably
I would say as well
for
us together when the audience and the viewers watch some of our videos, because we've had moments of laughter and we've had moments of absolute stupidity and stuff as well.
Yeah, we're related to dogs, really, aren't we, Phil?
I'd say we're all related to dogs and chemicists.
Indeed.
And
classics.
That did like 1 million damage.
Yeah, there's all kinds of probably famous General Red moments. And also probably real funny General Red moments. Like I know there's like loads of moments in my RTCW series, for example, that some of the viewers over there absolutely love, where I just absolutely fail at the game really hard.
One thing that I think my parents found funny, which I must have found funny at the time, was when I went skiing. In the place where you go into to have your food in the restaurant bit, there was a step, and I accidentally tripped over that step, and for the rest of my skiing trip I had a massive black foot.
Oof.
It really did hurt, but it was funny to look back on when I did it.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, glad that you saw their own humour in it, because it's just one of those things that, like, if they were laughing, if they were laughing but you weren't, it was like, god,
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, laughing at your misfortune a bit, but if you sort of see the humour in it as well, then it's all right, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to question 7. Where is the worst smelling place you've been?
Ooh.
That place where you gagged and almost threw up. Yeah, that place.
There is one that I can remember above all others from high school. So this was in year 7, so first year of high school, and I was with my form group in a science class, and so in the classroom, obviously instead of tables they had like benches. Those like long science lab work benches that you all sit at, and the bench that I was sat at, just a few sort of seats down from me, there was this lad, and partway through the science lesson, I was just sort of concentrating on writing down in my book whatever it was I was writing down, and suddenly I smelled this really fucking rank, horrible smell, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I looked around just further down the bench, and this lad had like taken his socks off, and it literally was his feet. It was like, Christ, your feet smell awful.
What on earth? Why was he taking his socks
off? I don't know. He just taken them off because why the hell not?
Oh my god!
But God, his feet smell terrible. It was actually rank as hell. It's the worst foot odour I think I've ever smelled in my life.
Oh my
granted,
God.
I haven't smelled much foot odour before in my life, but I can categorically say that was probably one of the worst out there, indeed. Yeah. So, fun little story.
That was interesting. I'm trying to think now. What worst smelling places have I been?
So, actually, it wasn't so much really a place, it was just more like a random event, but I guess it kind of fits the question.
I've been in a place where I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like there was a really musty smell. And it was really overpowering.
Yeah.
Not like the sort of nice musty smell you get in like a church.
Yeah.
But it was an overpowering musty smell, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
And I had to go outside because I think I was actually going to be ill.
Yeah. Some places are like that, aren't they? Like particularly older places where maybe it's just like there's a lot of like really dusty old furniture and antiques and stuff like that. It's a bit overpowering and all that.
Can be overpowering. Okay, let's move on to question 8. What celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10?
As a perfect 10, okay. So is this
there's lots of things like people who've done many things, like Robin Williams. He was a very, very nice person. He did a lot of help, even though obviously committed suicide.
Yeah.
But is there any celebrity that you would you really like? Maybe not. You don't have to rate them as a perfect 10, but maybe you find them really good with you, or you really like them.
Yeah, I mean Robin Williams is a good example. I'm trying to think. So like perfect 10. I'm assuming here we mean sort of maybe like personality-wise. They're just an all-round really nice person.
Yeah, you can have that.
It's a tough one because I don't really follow a lot of celebrities. So I'm trying to
it
rack
could be
my
celebrities
brains.
like YouTubers, remember, as well.
Indeed. So, well, actually, no. You know what? There is actually, now that you say YouTubers, and now that I think about it, there is probably one person who, from what I've seen of her, she's actually probably quite a nice person. It's probably one of, it's basically Yogscast's newest, well, not newest now, she's not, but one of the newer members of Yogscast, Boba Witch, whatever she's called. She's actually, from what I've seen of her, a really nice person. So apparently, just like, when she's talked about, for example, like, work that she did before she became a Twitch streamer, in like, sort of, basically like gender clinics and like healthcare work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She just sounds like she's a really nice person, just very caring and supportive. So there's that. So I'll say her actually. She's quite a nice person. Indeed.
Yeah. I say the Yogscast are very interesting people, and they do a lot for charity as well.
Indeed, yeah.
Their Christmas live streams where they do a lot of charity streaming. Robin Williams, I say as well, because of the things that he's done, and the those celebrities as well that surprise their fans and do good for their fans.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. Next question is: what's a body part that you wouldn't mind losing? You've got lots of body parts. Surely there's a few you could part with. Who knows? Maybe missing a few toes will become a fashion statement.
Damn. Oh god, that's a really weird one. That is.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, if you think about it, for example, from like a medical point of view, there are certain organs in your body that you don't actually need. You can survive without them. Like, you can, for example, like lose a kidney, stuff like that. So if you wanted to be like altruistic, you could like donate an organ,
kidneys,
something like that.
Everyone goes the appendix, but the appendix actually does have some features in your body that scientists have actually discovered.
Indeed. So I think for my answer to that, I would probably say like, I don't know, like I'd donate maybe a kidney or something.
I can see a kidney. I think you can actually lose part of your liver as well and donate that. So that might be a useful feature as well.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the dumbest way you've been injured. Let's face it, we've all had some injuries that were caused by less than dignified circumstances, so let's hear it. Everyone's a good cringeworthy story.
There is one, it's just come to me now. This was a long time ago. I was only a kid, and it was on like a family trip to probably like Belgium or somewhere, when we were getting like the overnight ferry from Hull.
Yeah.
And this was great. This was so ironic. You'll love this one, Phil.
Go on.
Basically, we were on the ship. It was broad daylight. You could see everything. Visibility was fine as it was cruising along through the North Sea. And me and my mother, we were walking along the deck. Somehow, I managed to walk into a first aid box protruding out from the wall.
Oh, that's ironic.
That's a true story. I'm not making it up. It actually happened to me as a kid, and for some reason that question just jogged my memory of it, and I've not thought about that for years. Indeed. Yeah. So that's probably mine.
I think for me, it would probably relate up to that first story of my foot.
Yeah.
Where I tripped over that step and got a black mark on it.
Indeed.
I think it would probably be. I'd probably go for that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that was way, falling over and then it being it wasn't good for the rest of my skiing trip because it really bloody hurt. When putting the ski boot on, because the ski boot's quite tight anyway.
I guess I don't know. I mean, my story, I wouldn't really say so much it was an injury. It just left me with a bit of a bruise. That's all.
Of a bruise, yeah.
But it's just one of those.
I think I told you of this one where when it was snowing and I went for a walk through Curtin Valley.
And
I slipped over on the snow.
Yeah, you have told me that one.
That must scar.
That was actually quite an alarming one because obviously that you were fortunate that there was someone there, who could help you.
Oh God, I was extremely fortunate. A worker in a care home, an elderly care home, and luckily she popped up and gave me some plasters and stuff.
Because the thing is, like, if that had turned out worse and you'd been on your own there, that could have, been a bit more serious in the middle of winter with it being cold and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're not like wrapped up enough, indeed.
Which fictional character would be the most boring to meet in real life? Sure, it's easy to focus on the exciting, thrilling characters, but how about showing the boring ones some love?
What about what's he called? Marvin, the depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
God. Oh yeah,
him.
It would probably make you very depressed, or at least cause depressive issues, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Absolutely.
I'm just thinking if there's any like video game characters that might cause some boring characters that you don't really. Like maybe there's some of the NPCs that just don't really do anything.
I was also thinking Frank Pickle from The Vicar of Dibley. You remember him?
Oh God, yeah.
There's literally an episode I remember of that one where it's like Dibley has they set up like a radio station, and then the newspapers are printing headlines about them, and the one for Frank Pickle is this the most boring man in Britain?
Well, it's not really that fictional.
True.
He's a real person, but he's playing a fictional character on there, isn't he?
Indeed, yeah. He's a fictional character. That's what matters.
Okay, let's move on to question number 12. What is the best and worst purchases you've ever made? So the best purchase that you've made, would you say for yourself?
I mean, there's probably a couple I can think of. So, like, obviously, my current PC build is just really, really good. I've got a lot of mileage out of it. And also say, like cars as well that I've bought in the past. Cause,
nice cars,
because obviously, like, cars are just one of those things, it's like, it's independence and all that, and it just gives you a lot of flexibility in life in terms of being able to travel further afield.
With a car, so I would say to people, if you haven't, I would say definitely start some driving lessons.
Yeah, definitely.
Get on with it, it gives you so much independence,
Can I get onto the balloon before it flies away?
Oh no!
Oh, it's right there. Oh God, no, that's too far.
Too far. What about the worst purchase?
Worst purchase I've ever made in my life. Probably. There was one time I have vague recollections of just years ago. I mean, this is just very mundane and random. But just like making an Amazon purchase and it never showed up.
Did it not?
Yeah.
Oh God, why? What happened there?
I don't know. It was like I can't remember what it was specifically. It was like a DVD of something.
Right.
And I messaged the seller and things like that, and apparently it got lost somewhere in the mail and it just never showed up. So it was like, well, shit.
Did you get your money back?
I can't actually remember because it was quite a few years ago. I would imagine I probably did, but I can't remember for certain. So yeah, indeed. But that's, like I say, it's just such a mundane, random one. That is.
That's good.
I wouldn't say there's any like real big ones that I've like massively regretted. But yeah, indeed.
I would say for me, one of the best purchases I made, with their help, I suppose, is like you said, cars, but also my house.
Yeah, your house as well.
Yeah, my house is a big one. That's really good purchase that I've made myself.
Indeed.
And I've got some good purchases lined up in the future. A new shower unit, and I want to get a new TV and stuff.
Yeah.
The worst purchase. Well, I suppose it was good in a way, but it would be good for other people. When I was in university, you get your maintenance fee.
Oh right, yeah.
Because you get it every month.
Yeah.
I blew it all on a laptop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I got an Alienware laptop, which is about $1,000, and it got about $1,000 in a maintenance loan, and I spent it all on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the end of the day, it works well and everything.
Yeah.
So
you can use it
a truly worst purchase. Yeah.
You can use it for your studies and all that for Microsoft Office tools. So at the end of the day, not the worst thing you could have bought, but yeah.
Okay, if you had to change your name, what would your new name be, and why would you choose that name?
Let's see now. What would I call myself? I feel like this is one where you could just go absolutely wild.
Yeah.
You could call yourself,
absolutely.
I don't know, something like Johnny McAwesome or something.
Johnny McAwesome. Yeah, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
There was that guy who named himself to like a load of different superheroes.
Right.
He actually went through the courts and renamed himself Superman, Batman, Flash, Iron Man, better than all the other superheroes combined.
Nice. Oh dear.
I don't know what I would call myself. Ticklington Tickleton.
Ticklington Tickleton.
But to be honest, at the end of the day, I wouldn't really do it, because I always think that changing your name is like basically saying a big fuck off to your parents.
Yeah, I would only change my name if they'd given me something that was genuinely really just really bad, and was just like really confusing, or just
like the celebrities that name their kids like Apple. Like, what the fuck?
Well, Apple's not too bad. I think there's worse ones out there, like freaking Elon Musk's kids. Just some of the names that apparently they have. Supposedly.
Yeah. Oh God.
But,
yeah. I know what you mean. Okay. Next one. Question 14. What are some things that sound like compliments but are actually insults, along the lines of like humble brags?
Humble brags and things like that. What if I came up to you, Phil, and said, normally I don't think greasy hair works, but you pull it off quite well.
Wow.
Something silly like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a backhanded compliment.
for people who have, people who have greasy hair, I suppose.
Yes. Indeed. It's just stuff like that where it's like, it's sort of phrased as a compliment when you think about it. Actually, hang on a minute. What are you saying?
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Absolutely, yes. Normally I don't find people with buck teeth attractive, but on you they work.
Yeah, well, people would say, like people who wore new clothes, like someone, maybe a woman, for example, who doesn't wear dresses usually, and suddenly decides to wear a dress, and they say, "Oh, that dress looks nice on you. It looks better on you than wearing just shirts and jeans."
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, wow.
Indeed. Yeah. Or something like, actually, that is quite an interesting one where, someone splurges out on like a new outfit or something, and then someone else says to them, "Wow, you're looking fashionable today," in a way that almost like implies that they're not normally.
Like, oh, not fashionable normally.
Yes, indeed.
So those are sort of ones. Okay, number 15. This is an interesting one, actually. What's your biggest screw up in the kitchen?
In the kitchen?
Whether you did it when you were a kid or as a misguided college student, you've had a seriously bad screw up in the kitchen. So what happened?
Yeah, I mean, there is, I think, probably one. Yeah, actually, there is one that stands out to me. Actually, I don't know. Would you really count? Well, yeah, I guess you kind of count it as a bit of a screw up in the kitchen. I was once like cooking a meal in the oven. It was like a chicken meal or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the thing is, like, it was in an evening and I had like a bit of a headache, and so I thought I'd just take like a headache tablet. But sometimes if your throat's a bit dry, sometimes like tablets, they can get momentarily stuck in your throat. So that once happened to me, and I was like, "Yeah, Jesus!" And problem is, because I'd never really had anything like that before, for a moment it just like is a bit panic inducing because you think you're going to choke, but you're not. You can breathe, but at first you have that mini panic attack.
Yes, you
almost.
do. I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, and that's what kind of happened to me a bit. So like I swallowed it, but it didn't quite go down properly. So for a moment I was like, oh Jesus! I was like coughing, and at first I thought, oh shit, I'm going to have to go and get a neighbour here because this is dangerous. Fortunately, a few seconds later I realised, no, it's okay, I can still breathe. It's not in an airway, it's just stuck in my throat. But for a moment, of course, like I was sort of in panic attack mode, and of course, like I had to just sort of like just leave the meal alone, turn the oven off, whilst I just waited for this tablet to go down. And it kind of messed up my meal a bit. But yeah, indeed, that wasn't a nice moment.
It wasn't a nice moment. No, for me, I would say I got a pizza going in the oven. The pizza was going in the oven, and I opened it to get it out, and it was ready, and it all fell over.
Oh God!
All the toppings went across the floor.
Yeah,
and I was like, for fuck's sake.
That reminds me as well, for example, of like when you've put something in the oven, but you kind of left it in for too long by mistake, and it ends up coming out burnt, like a pizza coming out burnt or something like that. That's a pretty mundane and everyday one, but you know, I think we've all had that one probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next question. What's the worst commercial you've recently seen? Why is it so bad?
For me, there's a lot of commercials out there that I think are just played so damn frequently that you just get sick of seeing them. I'm trying to think which ones would come to mind. Oh God, come on! Yeah, I know there are ones that I'm just trying to think of. Usually, it's stuff to do with just like certain like banking services and things like that. It's like every other break in a program they just come on. And it's usually like sort of cheesy dialogue where it's like people acting out a conversation, and it's just like really kind of dull and boring. It's supposed to be humorous, but it's just a bit sort of dull and boring, and you think, yeah, we get it. Just shows your service that you're advertising. You don't need to draw this out.
Yeah, no, yeah. I like the ones that come up with catchy tunes, but then you have the ones that are just annoying and mundane and everything, like the banking ones, like the like the perfume adverts and aftershave adverts. Just like it's always like a man and a woman, eyeing each other up and
so
stripping
absurdly
themselves
sensual. Yes,
putting themselves against each other.
Indeed,
those are annoying. Okay, move on to question 17. What is the craziest thing one of your teachers has done?
Ooh.
I'm sure we've all had that one teacher with a couple of screws loose, or how about that teacher that just absolutely lost it during class?
There will be, I'm trying to think. I mean, I can certainly remember a couple of tutors at university who sometimes were quite out there and would just like start off a lecture by like singing a song or something.
Would they? Oh my god.
Yeah, there was one in my first year as an undergraduate when I was still an English language student, an eccentric old guy, professor, who one day, for whatever reason it was, in one of his lectures just started singing an old medieval English song for some reason.
Sounds funny.
Then in my second year of undergraduate, one of my politics tutors, who was actually quite a cool guy, we all liked him, he was quite good. In one of his lectures, he started singing one of these like American patriotic sort of rock songs. He actually even dressed up as well with like a fake beard, a bandana, and like an America t-shirt.
Oh my god, that was
funny. It was funny.
I do remember. For me, I do remember one of the science teachers in my high school.
Yeah.
Basically, putting a load of I think it was a physics lesson, it was a chemistry lesson, just to see the effects of different chemicals through some stuff on the table and then set fire to it.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's always that one who's a bit crazy and likes to push things out there a bit.
So that'd be for me. Okay. When did you screw everything up, but no one ever found out it was you?
Ooh.
What have you gotten away with? How sneaky were you when you were younger, or was it something recent that you messed up and got away with? Yeah.
What would it be? Probably just like messing around in class and then someone else got the blame for it.
Yeah.
Probably something like that.
I think I've said my story about this before, but I think it's in the Say You've Been Hunted episode where we where I talked about it, that incident that I had when I was at school and we were cooking stir fry.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I left the hot oil in a pan while it was cooking.
And someone else
thought it was my friend.
Oof. dearie me.
I actually talked about, but I've forgotten. I think it was the episode High School Days.
Okay, yeah.
So it'd be that was it. High School Days, where we both had a chat about how high school worked and everything. So for more about that little incident that I had, go and see that video.
Yeah. I think most people will probably have a story like that where there was something they were doing, like goofing around in class with a friend, and you did something, and the teacher immediately like pounced on your friend, and they got the blame for it.
But it's in that video, but definitely take a look at that. Okay. What problem or situation did TV or movies make you think would be common, but when you grew up, you found out it wasn't?
Quicksand. It could be quicksand, as though you'd be wandering on a beach or through a wood somewhere and you blunder into a bog.
That's funny. But the author of this article,
right?
They've written for me, it was quicksand. Always with the quicksand.
Indeed, yeah. I just like remember, you'd see movies, but it's just like people sinking into it. You're like, oh my god! As a kid, you're like, holy shit! I don't want to go walking in the woods now.
Yeah, but quicksand actually doesn't do that. It will submerge you up until about your waist and a bit, maybe a bit above your waist, and that's it.
Yeah, depends how deep it is. Yeah, and the thing is, like most of the time, it's not necessarily that deep. The thing about like quicksand, for example, on beaches is the danger isn't really the quicksand. It's if you get bogged down, then the tide comes in. That's when it's really dangerous, because obviously, like the water might come in over your head. Slowly, like rising up, but yeah.
I'll tell you something else as well. Head injuries.
Oh, right.
When you get a head injury, they don't like go into utter like concussion.
Yeah.
They're just like a bit of blood on the face. Oh right, ready to get back and fight back.
Yes.
Like no, that's not quite how it works.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had a massive irrational suspicion or fear of when I was a kid, as though it would actually happen when actually realistically it wouldn't. I remember once in primary school when they kind of teach you about the dangers of like chip pan fires, and like as a kid you'd be like, oh my god, chip pan fires, it's so bad.
Not that common.
Yeah, exactly. And like your parents would say, it's okay, we don't even have a chip pan at home.
Oh, I know what TV shows. What about people who, are eating in a restaurant or a diner and they're having a chat and then just see them walking out like, hello, have you paid? You haven't paid for your bloody meal.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What quote or saying do people spout but is complete bullshit?
For me, it's one that I always see. Well, I used to always see it. It was a Marilyn Monroe one. Something like, if you can't tolerate me at my worst, you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best.
Oh God, yeah, that's
have you seen that one?
So much.
Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those things which, when I first kind of heard it, I thought, why should I have to tolerate you at your worst though? Like, yeah, like if your worst is like an absolute freaking asshole personality that is just highly unlikable and just horrible, then why should I have to bother trying to tolerate you? Like, why should I want to be around you? Things like that. So, yeah, that's just one of those quotes for me, which is like, sounds amazing on paper, but actually when you think about it, at least when I thought about it, I just thought, nah, not really.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah. For me, that quote where people go, money talks. No, not always.
Yeah.
Money doesn't always talk.
Indeed.
And you shouldn't use money for things. You can't buy everything with money.
Indeed, yes.
So it's shame some of these quotes are just complete bullshit, but you get them.
Yeah. Indeed. And also, I'll tell you a bullshit one, Phil. You shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet, as said by Abraham Lincoln.
That's it. Oh, Abraham Lincoln, he knew what was up. He knew what was up.
Indeed, yes.
Okay, question 21. So we're nearly coming to the end now. What's something your brain tries to make you do, and you have to will yourself not to do it?
Ooh, gosh.
It could be as intense as the urge to jump off a high place, or as mild as trying to stop yourself from itching that mosquito bite, or maybe just saying something you shouldn't at a really inopportune time.
Yeah. This is a really strange one. And this isn't necessarily like a place I've been to before, but when you mentioned the whole thing about like jumping off a building kind of thing, that did sort of kind of remind me of like sometimes there are certain situations where like you see something that's clearly dangerous, but there's like a weird part on the inside
makes
that
you want to try it.
Yeah.
Like when you're on top of a high thing, you're like, go on, Go on, jump, do it. Just for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
No brain, no.
Indeed. It's weird how that is. It's like a weird, strange kind of urge. I mean, obviously it's not like a particularly strong urge, but it's just weird. Like, there was a video from Tom Scott that I watched on YouTube about this, I think it's called the Strid in Yorkshire. I think I've mentioned this before on Sir. Basically, it's like a stream in Yorkshire somewhere, but it's like deceptively deep, and it's like
the Bolton Strid, yeah. It looks really shallow, but the currents are horrendous, and you'll get cut down and taken away.
Yeah, and it's very deep as well. And the thing is, because it's bubbling on the surface, the water density is like if you fell in, you would sink straight to the bottom immediately, and you wouldn't be able to get back up. And it's like people in the comments, and I sort of agree with them. It's like, you know, lots of people have died in the past, like trying to jump over it. Because technically it is jumpable, it's narrow enough, but of course, like, you should never like try and jump it because it's so fucking dangerous if you slip and fall in.
If you slip and fall in,
and it's like just that thing where you look at it and there's like that weird tiny little part of you that almost feels like, go on, give it a shot, jump, go on, try it on. But it's like at the same time your conscious mind says no, that is fucking stupid, that is a terrible idea.
I know, it's crazy when things like that. Again, the added note here, for mosquito bites or any insect bites, you're just trying to really stop it. And like, your brain's going, go on, itch it, go on, itch it. You're like, no, I mustn't do it. It's just going to get worse.
I'm not saying I would necessarily try that in real life at all. No, I absolutely would not. Even if I was stood right next to it, I wouldn't try jumping across something like that. But like, what the point is that doesn't mean there's not like that weird little sort of strange impulse inside that says,
why
what would
does
it be like?
That happen?
It's a strange thing.
Okay. Question number 22. If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
That's a big one, that is. Gosh, I mean, there's like the really like high-end sort of stuff that you could go for example, like, is there a god or something like that?
I've got one.
Get the definitive proof.
Are we alone?
I was actually thinking of that one. Are we alone in the universe? Yes.
Those are big questions, and everyone wants to know about these sort of questions and these things.
Indeed.
What am I going to have for tea tonight?
Yeah.
Imagine just wasting it on that.
I know. You
only get one. You only get to ask one question, but you will get the answer to it. Whatever happens, you'll get the answer to it. Oh shit! What am I going to have for tea tonight? Oops, I didn't mean to do that one. Too late. You are going to have fish and chips tonight.
Yeah. The scary one though, that I could see, like, it could be sort of like daunting to ask, but I could imagine some people would ask it anyway. Is, do I live like a comfortable life pretty much for that's a horrible one, like, because kind of part of you would be curious to like know, because you want to know, you want reassurance. But
the choice between the two questions, knowing how you'll die or knowing when you'll die.
Yes, that one, indeed. Yes, that could be a pretty
I think that's what would you rather, actually.
That is.
Would you rather before how we die or when.
Indeed.
Okay, we've only got 3 more questions. Question 23. What's the most interesting thing you've read or seen this week?
Most interesting thing I've read or seen. Right, let me think about that.
For me, the most interesting thing I think we've seen this week is that, we've our Prime Minister has effectively resigned.
Yeah.
And is a caretaker until someone can take over for him.
Yeah, indeed.
With all the scandals and crazy things that have happened.
Yeah.
So that's been crazy, and I think that's been very interesting to see that.
Yeah. Trying to think, what would it be for me? I think probably just like reading from like BBC History magazine about certain historical events like, for example, like I was reading recently about the Russian Civil War, and how kind of that could have played out so differently if you just changed certain variables. It's a fascinating period of history, but that was something quite interesting that I've read recently.
That is. I can understand why that's an interesting little bit. I like reading little articles like that. Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 24. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing? We've all had our gullible moments, and everyone loves to hear about someone else's embarrassment.
I can certainly think of when I was a very young kid, and like people telling me silly stories, things like that. I'm trying trying to think, what did someone trick me into believing when I was a child? There will be something. There will be. Just trying to remember what it was. Come on, it's got to come to me at some point.
I must say, one of the things that I did back in high school, when people say things that you don't really know what they mean because you're quite young, and you always have to go, no, are you gay? You don't really know what it means at that stage. You say no.
Yeah.
Are you this? Are you that? Are you facetious? Are you? And you're like, oh, I don't know, just say no. And then someone came up with, are you a virgin? No.
That one.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh dear, yes. There's other things in high school as well.
That's been tricked, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I have had one, yeah. At our school as well, there was we had a wood, like a forest.
Yeah.
I was tricked by one of the older students who said I can't remember, they said there was something cool inside there, so I went in and fell over and had a horrible scraping of my leg.
Oof, yes.
And everybody laughed in my face.
Wow.
Yeah.
How lovely of them. Yeah.
But anyone who's been to high school and hasn't been bullied, I mean, you haven't really lived.
I know.
Everyone gets bullied at least
wow.
once.
You haven't lived unless you've been bullied. There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's more one of those things. If you've never been bullied in high school, then you are very, very lucky, because so many kids obviously do. That's what we kind of mean by that. Not saying you should have been bullied. That's not what we're saying
but
at all.
It just happens, doesn't it? Yeah. Have
Indeed.
you found out what ridiculous thing you did?
Yeah, I think probably when I was a very young kid, and just like when you're a very young kid and you don't have really much of a sense of geography. Me, for example, believing that my hometown was basically the entirety of what was the British Isles on a map for some reason. When you're a very young kid and you just haven't a clue. Something like that probably. Where
Something like that.
Yeah. If you asked me to point out my hometown on a map, I would sort of do a circle around the British Isles and say, that's my hometown. It's like, no, that's just a country. Yeah, indeed.
Okay, and the final question. I suppose you could do, this is very Americanized, but I suppose you could do it for events like big sporting events here, like football and stuff. Mm-hmm. If you were given a 1-minute ad slot during the Super Bowl / football / World Cup, Euros, that you couldn't sell, what would you fill it with? Will you change the world, annoy a lot of people, inspire them, or just use it as a platform to further your own diabolical plans? Well, it's definitely that last one.
Yeah, it is for me, isn't it?
General Red Empire.
I was about to say, advertise YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you could do that, yeah.
Yes, indeed. I could very well do that if I wanted to be very unimaginative and all that. Or I could, just waste my little slot, my little amount of time by coming on air and just saying, if you put one lasagna on top of another one, does that make 2 lasagnas? Or is that
make 2 lasagnas, yeah.
Or is that just one lasagna?
Or you could try and make your whole thing, just do a load of spiel for about 58 seconds, and then go, and then just as it gets that one, oh shit, and I forgot to tell you.
Troll everyone like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Or just play a prank, do like Marty Crane did in Frasier, where he's filming a video where he starts making up a big story about how he has a stash of gold bullion in his old police locker, and the combination is, but then pretends to do a heart attack before he says the combination.
Oh god, yeah.
Yes, something like that where you could troll people. Indeed. But maybe that's what we'd do and all that.
There we go then. There was interesting little questions that we've had a go with.
Yeah. So there you go. That was quite interesting and actually quite enjoyable to go through those, I do think. So thanks for joining me for that there, Phil.
Oh, fantastic. I love the bits. All right then.
Okay, well, in that case, we'll start wrapping up here. So, join me next time. We'll continue on with the balloon experiment. Oh, gosh, getting gas coming up my throat from my tea earlier. But yeah, other than that, Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed, a like is always appreciated. But other than that, this is the 2 of us signing off now.
Actually, I will say as well, since we're on Sir, since we're coming up to 500 soon, maybe another Q&A.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
Or have you got something else in plan for 500?
I haven't got anything planned, but a Q&A.
Big chonker.
Yeah. Q&A probably would be the way to go.
Okay, so start now. Since this is 492.
Yeah. In that case, if you want to start leaving some preemptive questions for a Q&A, then, in your comments, just say, here's some Q&A questions and then just list them, and I'll try and make a note of them. Of course, as we get closer to time, I'll probably put out an announcement on YouTube and across the Facebook and Twitter pages, things like that, just to call for more of them. But we might as well start now.
Yeah, might as well start now since it's 92. I know there's still a bit of a way to go, but it's good to start early.
Yeah. In that case, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Well, it's blocked off over there, actually, isn't it? Actually, there's no point going over there then. Alright, so, I know where we want to go then. It wants us to go back over here, swim underneath the gondolas. Probably we'll take our boat the other way, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Right, let's get in, let's go for another boat ride. Back up, back water, there we go. God, I really do love the new mechanic of vehicles and all that. I think there might be a dude actually around on this platform over here. Oh, there is, okay. I definitely can't use my friggin' guns, can I, whilst I'm in here, that's the problem. Right, hold it. Maybe we can just swim past this douche.